on June 23rd of Planning Commission, we start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please, young lady.
Deborah Addy, here. Mark Brochart.
Here.
Chris Hildington.
Excused.
Chris Holcomb.
Excused.
Tom Kozel.
Here.
Robert Muesling.
Here.
Whitey Simon.
Here.
Kathy Swiker.
Excused.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. I look for a motion to approve either the agenda or amendments to agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendments to the agenda.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
I'm rusty, Whitey, I'm rusty.
Now we look for the approval of the minutes of the last meeting, which was,
I need a vote.
didn't we vote?
Yeah. Roll call,
No,
Roll call?
not roll call, but vote.
The vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes, I need a motion to approve last meeting's minutes of May 26th.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second.
I'm going to recuse myself from this since I was not here.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That brings us to new business. The first item A on the agenda is a rezoning application for 9303 Stone Road from C2 to C3. Do you have anything to tell us about that, young man?
Good evening. Tonight is just the schedule of the date for the public hearing. They're looking, it's approximately 0.67 acres of property. They're looking for C2 to C3. C3 would be your least restrictive commercial district. I do not see anywhere in the application their intent on what they want to do, though, so.
There are essentially some extensions to C1, C2 that add a few businesses to being allowed in the
He
C.
usually adds like automotive and more outdoor sales, those kind of things, least restrictive, yes.
I think that's what we were questioning him on last time when he was.
Yes, we did.
You know, whether he's gonna be able to sell and what was the parking and everything else.
So if we would like to do anything at all about that, we need to schedule conceivably a public hearing on July 28th. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing on July 28th for, what's it, 9303?
Right.
9303 Stone Road rezoning. The
I'll second.
C1, C2 to C3.
Excuse me, just for the record, could you state your name and,
Oh, sure.
yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm Steve Casson. I'm your planning consultant.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. You've heard the motion? You all understand it?
Need a second, I think.
I'll second it.
Debbie second. Roll call vote.
Tom Kozel.
Yes.
Robert Muesling.
Yes.
Chris Hilton, not here. Whitey Simon.
Yes.
Deborah Addy, yes. Mark
Yes.
Brochart.
Motion passes. That brings us to the second item under new business, namely B, which is a public hearing, the rezoning of C3 to R1 of the South Channel property. The properties are JPC 2021-004, 74-14, 84704, 415-000, JPC 2021 2021-005, 74-14- 847-0398-000, and JPC 2021-007-74-14, 847-0397-00. Before we begin the public hearing, I would like to repeat and remind you of the public hearing, public comment rules. All comments must be made through the chairperson. Comments directed to the applicant from the audience are prohibited. Individuals wishing to speak have time limits, 3 minutes for each member of the general public, and 6 minutes for a spokesperson for a larger group, e.g. subdivision association, condo association, business group, and similar groups. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to sign the sign-in sheet provided. However, anyone wishing to speak will be given the opportunity. Each individual will be allowed to speak once. It will be the chairperson's decision as to whether rebuttal comments will be allowed. Citizens may appoint a spokesperson to represent those who agree on a point of view. And finally, public comments on a specific public hearing request should be made during the public hearing for that item. I ask you again, do you have some comments for us regarding the rezoning from C?
Good evening again. I did review the request for rezoning from C3 general business to R1. I have to say it's very unique. I've been doing this a long time, and very seldom will we ever get requests that commercial go back to residential. But that's this case. They're seeking rezoning of 3 parcels, total of 11.42 acres. My review shows a map of where those parcels are located. Surrounding areas on the north side, it's zoned single-family R1. Single-family is used for, it's actually the part water, and part single-family residential. On the east side, it's also zoned R1, single-family. Property for the most part is vacant, although there are some single-family homes in the distance. On the south side, it's also zoned single-family and also the C3, general business. And on the west side, it's also zoned R1, and it's occupied by the South Channel Yacht Club. The review is the applicant is requesting to rezone the property, as I stated. Specific purpose, although not entirely identified, but I believe it's to provide single-family homes in that area. The request is consistent with the pattern of development in the area. The master plan deviates a little bit from the use in the area. The master plan actually shows it as commercial, but that was due to the fact that it was anticipated that the South Channel Yacht Club would expand and develop on that property. I have no objections to the rezoning. In fact, I recommend approval.
Thank you, sir. With that, we're open for public comments when you come to the podium, and please use the microphone, state your name, and give us your statement.
Would you like copies of what I'm going to talk about?
Are they different from the ones that were in the? Oh, okay. Well, you can use a copy, makes it easy. Thank you.
To the board, this is Ken Jaley from Harson's Island. I represent a group of 7 of us, all of which are adjacent property owners, except one who also has a interest in the wildlife and the surrounding water environment. So we have some concerns, but maybe if these concerns are met, it might be an acceptable program. We now learned that it's 11.42 acres, and so I have a question about that, and that is, how many homes could be built under R1 in 11.42 acres legally? If it's rezoned, it could potentially be how many total buildings? Is there anyone here who can tell me?
It would depend on the layout. Mr. Chairman, may I respond?
Certainly, please do.
depend on the layout of the lots, but I give or take 10 to 15.
Okay, so if we had as many as 15 eventually there at some point in time, maybe after I'm dead and gone, but if we had 15, it would, normally houses have about 3.5 people, residents per house. So if you take that number and you multiply that out, you know, that's a small number, but we all know that on Harson's Island, especially in the warm weather, that people gather at everyone else's house. Everyone who has a footprint on the water invites someone else, so the population at least doubles every weekend. I'm there, I know. And so we also know that this particular area, which is adjacent to the Little Muscatine Bay, is one of the most highly used and trafficked areas, more by boat than by other means, but also by auto and by people on foot, kayak, every means, swimming. They even swim through this area every warm weekend in the summer. So the number of people is very intense. Right now, we have no water or sewerage facilities down there. This project, if it were started or approved, eventually could generate an awful lot of township revenue on tax-based money, which could be used for the things that we need, like better infrastructure, better road, better, I mean, we lost the fire department recently. I'm not saying I'm an advocate one way or the other, but these are services that are demanded when you add people. And especially with the number of emergencies and the number of times that siren goes past my house every weekend on Saturday and again on Sunday. We have issues with no control. I mean, people are out of control out there. There's drunken disorderly, there's drugs being sold and there's drugs being consumed. There's people literally dying, and we've had some deaths out there, or some other deaths close by that were related to people that left that area and immediately cracked up boats and killed others, and all in the last few years. So what's being done about that is a concern, and you as a board or a committee have a huge responsibility and authority here to decide on it. So all I'm asking is please weigh all this stuff in carefully and consider what is best for our community and for those who are going to move in and for those who are already there. I mean, I've spent my entire life since I was 6 weeks old right on that parcel every summer, and I know what goes on, and it sure has changed. And I can tell you, I got a lot of relatives that have been there that roll over in their grave if they could see what all was going on. I mean, we have fights on the road right there along Bates Drive, fisticuffs, people slugging each other, and they're not even sober enough to know what they're doing. We've had people, we've had nudity, lewd behavior, public urination, including on my front lawn, by people that just come by and have no regard. We have jet skis going through. That's the one pass on the Venice Highway that you can get from the South Channel to the bay. And so there's a lot of traffic going through there at a much higher speed than they should be. You know, a no wake zone, and if you request somebody standing on the front lawn, please would you slow down? It's I won't tell you the vicinities that I've been abused with, and all the other people, some of them sitting right here, that have been there to hear it. So again, I'm not looking for any particular decision. I'm looking for a responsible one. I'm looking for an outcome that realizes that when you bring this many more people into it, okay, we still have overflows from septic tanks and things going on, and that's all that's available there. So what's going to happen, and what are we going to do about the enforcement? The noise, the music that they play, so there's a few guys there that think they're a disc jockey, and so they get on the loudspeaker, and that's worse than, the music is bad enough, but 2 miles away, it's making my windows do this with every drum beat. And I can feel it in my chest, and I'm trying to eat my dinner, and I don't feel that it's got the peace that it used to have. So I think as a taxpayer that I have some reason to be able to at least speak up about it. So my appeal to you is please do the responsible thing. We hope you will. We're counting on you to do it. I'm not saying to knock it down, but let's trade some things some conditions that have to happen in order to make this thing livable.
Thank you. Anyone else? else speaking in opposition?
Good evening. My name's Dave Weber, and I'm actually one of the owners, along with my two partners here that have bought the property already. And I feel bad if somebody is concerned about it, because